Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm a little early. I thought I was meant to be pressing a video, but good evening. Welcome to the Care Managers Inner Circle. My name is Jonathan, and it's an absolute delight to see you on here this evening. So for those of you who might not know, and you're thinking, what's all this Care Managers Inner Circle? We're currently broadcasting over to Facebook platforms and also YouTube. So if you're not a care manager, that's okay. We're just spreading the word about us amazing care managers who are out there. And for those of you care managers, you're doing a fantastic job. So for those of you who don't know, Care Managers Inner Circle started 4 years ago now in order to support the amazing care managers there across UK doing an incredible job. And what a year we've had. For those of you who know, we have our battle knickers hoiked around our necks. And what a year it's been. And so today, a little bit of respite, a little bit of a joy on the horizon as things start to ease up in terms of lockdown. And it's been great. We certainly started to relax some of our lockdown visiting rules, which is great at two of the homes which I manage, and it was a lovely day to start seeing that. So it's great, and also very proud that both our homes now have had the second vaccine. So we are absolutely delighted, and I can't help but show the joy with that. So hopefully you likewise shortly will have your second jab. But I'm over the moon. It just means that we can start to navigate our way out of this rather strange year, and what a year it's been. So tonight, I just want to talk about what's all that? Burn your boats. Well, I've got to say, we in the Care Managers Inner Circle, we're very keen on our reading and our books. There's some amazing books, and for those of you who might not know, people say, where'd you get all this stuff, all this like information? Well, I'm not bright enough to know this information, I've got to say, but I do know some people who in life are truly gifted. And these are the best minds. It's not about money, but most of them are multimillionaire guys. But these guys and girls have put their very best ideas, their very best thoughts onto paper about how they've been successful in life. I'm not suggesting that if you follow this, you'll be successful, but you probably get a better chance of being that way by following some of this stuff. And some of it is truly absolutely electric. And tonight, I just want to talk about Burn Your Boats. The book I'm reading is Robin Sharma. He's the author of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, absolute world-class bestseller. And I certainly recommend if you're going on holiday, eventually we're going to go on holiday, thank goodness. Well, I'd get a few of these off Amazon, put them in your bag and read those on or hopefully a sun lounger, maybe after August, September, whatever, but definitely worth a read. But one of the things which really resonated with me today was about burn your boats. So what's that mean? It means in life, if you really want to be successful, the very best you, the very most is when you're challenged, when your back's against the wall, when you really have no option in order to succeed. Because there is no other option available to you. You have to press on, you have to fight on, you have to find the courage from somewhere, you have to find that will, you have to find that inner strength from somewhere, and my goodness, you find it. And that's why I sort of said in the little prelude that when things are comfortable in life, when things are really going, you're really sort of successful, when money's not an issue, when then it just gets a little bit too comfortable. I've always said to those people who are fortunate enough to find themselves in a home graded outstanding after all those years of hard work, the real hard work starts then, is when you are graded outstanding, because it is tough. It is tough to maintain that, and it's tougher maintaining it after you've been graded outstanding. And so that's why this week, in fact, on Wednesday, I've got a webinar which I'm fortunate to be hosting with Isaac Theopolis, who is an incredible guy who twice has achieved outstanding in 5 areas of CQC compliance. I mean, the guy is a czar when it comes to CQC, and he's an very close friend and an absolutely great guy. Do you like my lockdown hair? It's never, ever been this long in its life. Joe, the missus, loves it. I'd love to say because she runs her hair through it. Someone the other day said, have I had a grey rinse? I was like, oh, No, I haven't had a great rinse. This really is my hair. And Joe said tonight it's getting taller and taller. So anyway, but I might do something different with it. So let me just go back to burning your boats. I just want to read some of the extracts here because it's absolutely brilliant here. This is again from Robin Sharman. So a powerful thought for you. Great achievement often happens when our backs are up against the wall. Pressure can usually enhance your performance. Your power most fully exerts itself when the heat is on. Who you are truly surfaces only when you place yourself in a position of discomfort and when you feel like you're out on the skinny branch. Challenge serves to beautifully introduce your very best and most brilliant self. And I've had so many examples of that in life. And I think it's worth, if you're at a crossroads in life, if you feel you want to be truly successful, if you want to move yourself, then place yourself in a position of discomfort and really force your hand. And I've got to say, today, let me just see. There's our Danny. Good evening, Danny. And what else? Danny says, second jab starting now. Brilliant. And Isaac, there you go. Someone was just a Facebook user. Excuse me, Isaac, great guy. Well, he's going to be later on this week. And also, just so you were, we've got another fabulous Anushka Farooq, who will be joining us on Thursday. She's an incredible speaker, an incredible lady, and she really undoubtedly burnt her boats in order to progress. Let me just tell you a tale. I came out the forces about 11 years ago now, and that was great. I was 16 years in. I'd had an absolutely fantastic time. I'd done all the stuff I wanted to do. I'd been to war. I'd been shot at. I'd been blown up. I'd had a great time. But now it's time to do something different. And I got out when I was riding a crest of successful confidence. I didn't want to be some sort of passed over major or lieutenant colonel. I wanted to get out when it's riding high, and it really, really worked for me. Danny says, here we go. My life includes work life, my wonderful Nan's motto. She said to me, Danny, you're a lovely lass, but if it's raining soup, you'll be the only one on the street with a fork. Hey, Danny, you always amuse me. But that's great. So let me just go back to our. Hold on, bear with me while I'm working. There you go. Time to burn your boat. So back onto our normal banner. Anyway, so back to my little story about. So I left the forces 10, 11 years ago now, and at the time I jumped into the NHS, and it was a fantastic job. I was leading some incredible people, and that job, Associate Director of Diagnostics over in Wirral Foundation Trust. Oh God, excuse me. Fantastic job. It was great. It was big. It was chunky. Big budgets, big goals, big ambition. And I resigned after 6 months. Not only that, but I was resigning out of a job which I moved all my 3 children into private education. It was like paying double what I was used to as a lowly army major, and so my hand was forced big time. I had no money coming in. I'd effectively made myself redundant, and it was something I had to do something pretty quick. I've got to say that's burning your boats big time. And I remember setting up. I was in my brother's office, Mark, who's an incredible guy, and he said to me, I can remember it now. I exactly remember where I was sitting, and I started saying, I'm probably going to go into maybe civil service or into, and he threw me this big marker pen, and he said, you better start thinking about what you can bluff people to do, or what you can bluff people to pay you in life. And he threw this marker pen to a big whiteboard behind me, and he goes, right, what can you do? And it was like, well, I can do compliance. I've trained soldiers all my life. I can do the following. I'm confident when it comes to them, emergency planning, business continuity, all that sort of compliance. I just had just got a qualification in health and safety. And he goes, right, it's compliance based. You better start setting up your own business. And that was it. And I've never been more driven, never been more focused in my life. Within 24 hours, I had a website. I networked myself to death. And I got some of the biggest clients you could possibly imagine. I tell you how bold I was. This is how bold I was. In the first 6 months, I secured 2 contracts out of pure bluff at the time. I had nothing to fall back on, but apart from just ballsy confidence. And I remember going into Southport Flower Show at the time, and the CEO there who ended up being a fabulous fellow and a great close friend. And he took me on to do the health and safety, or support someone to do the health and safety. And I ended up securing that. And then on the back of that, I also then secured health and safety for the Southport Air Show. And they were two contracts never had before. And before you know it, you make success, you make the opportunities. But that was only because I was so driven, because I was frightened, because I had 3 children in private education. I didn't want to rip them out. And so it drove me. And several years later, in life, things happen twice. It happens first in your head, and then it happens in reality. So things in life happen twice, first in your head and then in reality. And that equally goes for bad things. It happens in your head because you allow it to enter into your head, and then it happens. And it could be falling out with a relationship. It could be a meeting going wrong. The meeting's gone wrong there. You visualize a meeting going terribly wrong, and no surprise, the meeting is delivered terribly, and you end up with a terrible situation on your hands. So things in life, guys, happen twice, and that's why the power of visualization, the power of positivity, the power of just making sure that you do not allow the little voice inside your head to get in there, to start messing with your head, because it really does affect you and your life. And then several years later, let me tell you about this story, is Extreme Storm. So Extreme Storm, we had an event management company, not anymore, and we were delivering some pretty chunky, pretty cheeky events. I mean proper cheek. Yeah, Liverpool Pride. That was one that we did for 4 years. We did a number of events in Lancaster Light Up Skies, and these were multiple thousand people. And one of them, I always wanted to deliver my own event, and so it's called Extreme Storm. And in my head, I could see exactly what I wanted in my head, and the vision was so strong. And I had to force my hand, because the timing would never be right. It would never, ever be right. It would never, you go, right, everything's in place, the finance is in place, we've got all the tickets booked, we've got all the obstacles made, and it was a huge event. And it was 18 kilometers long. It's one of the longest events. It was longer than Tough Mudder. We had over 25 obstacles spread across Southport, and it was grueling. It was televised, and it went out on Channel 4, Discovery Channel, and British Eurosports, and it's still on YouTube and everything else there. And it's Extreme Storm with an X, and it was in 2013. And I forced my hand, because for all the reasons, I could easily just postpone it. And I forced my hand. I paid deposits on things because I knew I could not go back. And we delivered it from ground zero with not even a website, not even a name, in 6 months, and we delivered it. And so that was proof. And what drove me on was because if I'd been in life to Kuwait, where we did the invasion in 2003 into Iraq, and that was delivered on the back of a fag packet. That was a 5 months cold start. Then I thought, we can do anything. So it just shows you mad confidence. You can just literally do anything because you've already visualized it, and there's going to be no right. Let me just tell you a few of the bits. So Burn Your Boats is all about. Let me just tell you about it. Is a fantastic story from our Robin Sharma. He says, I've never forgotten the story of a famed explorer, Horacio Cortez. He landed on the shores of Veracruz in Mexico in 1519. He said he wanted the army to conquer the land for Spain. Faced with an uphill battle, an aggressive enemy, brutal disease, and scarce resources, they marched inland to do battle. Cortez ordered one of his lieutenants back to the beach with a single instruction: burn our boats. With obviously the implication that you have no turning back. There's no failure here. Here we are. Here we're going to either win, or we're going to die. He goes, my sort of guy. Challenge serves beautifully to introduce you to your very best and most brilliant self. How high would you reach how greatly would you dare? How hard would you work? How loud would you live if you knew your boats were burning? And so I just want to conclude with a couple of top tips. You can have 10 of these, 20 of these. I just want to go through some of these things. This is about, forcing and engineering success when it comes to burning your boats. And it starts with an understandable recognition that you've got to get out your comfort zone. If you're comfortable where you're now, you're not going to be burning boats, and you're not going to be doing great being. And the other thing today was, today I set, there's an assignment, which is the final assignment of my NEBOSH diploma. Why am I telling you that? Was because I haven't even started my assignment. It's an 8,000 words, which isn't huge, but it's 8,000 words, final assignment. I don't even know what I'm going to write it on. And yet today, I burnt my boats. I booked my my application because I have to submit it now in 6 weeks. Because in 6 weeks, if I'm not going to do it in 6 weeks, I'm not going to do it in 10 weeks or 20 weeks or 30 weeks. So 6 weeks it is. And I know I will submit that and it will pass. So let me just go. So here. So decide on your goal. You've got to have an idea in life. What the hell are you going to do? You can't just be goalless. You can't just aimlessly. You've got to aim for something. For me, I've got to achieve my NEBOSH diploma this year. Otherwise, I'm already burning my boats and everything else in it, and my underpants and all that. So decide on your goal and aim. And if they're not big and hairy and they don't scare the pants off you, then they're probably not worth following. That could be in your home, that could be in your care home, that could be in your business, that could be whatever it is. But it's got to be big, hairy, and scary in order to make any true effect. Force your own hand. You've got to force your own hand, because no one else, or possibly circumstance, could do it. It could be this year. You could have found yourself unemployed. You could find yourself now redundant. So your hand has been forced. That is a brilliant opportunity, because the back is against the wall. This is a fantastic new opportunity for you in terms of crossroads, but you're going to be better. You're going to be stronger. You're going to be more successful. You're going to have more money. They're the sort of thing, and you're going to have more success and life ambition. Right. Ignore the Armageddon. Right. What does that mean? It means that whenever you consider a situation like this, you will always go to the default, which is the worst case scenario. For me, it was 3 children being ripped out of education. We're going to have to sell a car. We're going to have to sell a house. And your brain will think of all the most horrific considerations ever. And 9 times out of 10, they will never, ever materialize. So do not give space. Ignore the Armageddon scenario, because it seldom happens. It seldom occurs. But you waste a lot of time worrying over this. And so start thinking, yes, there is a possibility. It's so remote, I'm not even going to consider it. And start thinking about, well, what if it does succeed? What if I am successful? What if I do pass my NEBOSH diploma in 6 weeks and I haven't even started it? Those sort of things. Right, generate momentum. You've then got to start generating momentum. And the best way to do this, I found, is by public acknowledgement, public announcement and declaration of what you're going to do. And I remember the day that one of my team said to me, should we publish that you can start to buy extreme storm tickets? Because once that's happened, I wasn't going to start refunding people. So once that was the big turn point for me, was that, and I remember pressing the button saying go. And because I know there's no going back now. People buying our tickets for Extreme Storm 2013. Find it on Facebook, find it on YouTube. It is worth a look, actually. And the final one is visualize success. That is so powerful. It's not this heebie-jeebie stuff. It's not about things which, it's not about being spiritual. It is absolutely 100%. Because you then start to map, your brain starts to map the success. You start to visualize, and without you doing it unconsciously, you start to place what you've seen, what you visualize in place in reality. So, folks, good to see you. Let me just finally. So this is about burn your boats. Find a scenario in life where you can put your back against the wall, where you are under pressure, where you are a little bit. You've got to be scared, guys. If you're not scared, you're not burning your boats. You can imagine that Cortez, when he burns his boats, oh my God, those guys were terrified. My God, they're going to fight, and they're going to fight to the death, but they were going to fight to win, because they had no choice. So decide on your role. This is life goal, your ambition goal, your home goal, your relationship goal, your money goal, but have some goals and aims. Force your own hand. Absolutely. Force your own hand as quick as you possibly can, so there's no going back. Like me today. Booked the assignments. Oh my God, what am I doing? There's 2 other assignment deadlines later in the year. Stop that. Now I'm going to do it now, because if I'm not going to do it in 6 weeks, I'm not going to do it in 12 weeks. Ignore the Armageddon. That is so important. Your brain will paint the worst, darkest picture ever. Ignore it. It's rubbish. Your brain doesn't know anything, but you do, and your own gut feel on this. generate momentum quickly, public declaration, and visualize success, my people. Visualize success like being successfully terrible on a ukulele. Right, folks, that's all you have for tonight. Have a fantastic night. I will see you tomorrow. Be kind, be good to each other, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.